All right, it is Tuesday morning. We're in Summers Point, which is just outside of Ocean City, New Jersey, and we're finally going to give you a tour of the micro camper. This is a 2019 Honda Pilot Elite. I think the only thing Elite gives you is a Blu-ray player, which, as I'll show you, is kind of useless for us anyway. We're excited about it, but whatever. It's got some downs, it's got some ups, and we're still trying to use a lot of it. I'm going to start in the passenger side, and what I found is we usually put, depending on who's driving and who's riding, we usually put all our media stuff in the door. At any notice, I've got my batteries, I've got GoPro, I've got 360 camera, I've got a Pocket, DJI Pocket 2, which Christine's got now, Insta 360, and you know, kind of the things that I need: cables, charging thingies, selfie sticks, and then I usually have a drink and, you know, stuff over here. As we come back, you can see that we've got these are the WeatherTech made window shields, and they fit perfectly in pretty much every window. And you've got a silver side for when it's sunny and you want to keep the heat out, and you've got a black side for when you want to be a little bit on the stealthy side. So we had the black side out last night, and we traveled from our destination last night just to film this. And the cool thing about the Pilot is it's got these little things like that. But we've bought, and at some point we'll do another video, we bought the little stockings that go over your window, and it allows you to just roll your windows down and get airflow without the bugs coming in. We do have the doodads here, which allows us to keep our windows cracked. And last night, you could see it rained. It actually was a really nice rainstorm. But coming in here, got another good kind of section on here. This is stuff that we'll usually use when we're sleeping. Right now, I've got a laptop battery shoved in there, and keys. Inside here, I might as well show you the basics. We have we built a sleep platform that kind of goes in there. And if I grab the camera from Christine and I lift up the mattress, you could see those pins there. And those pins are just really basic, you know, nothing pins. And then in the Pilot, you've got these drink holders back here. But the good thing is these pins are magnetic, and I use a magnet to just pull the pins out. And then this whole board here can lift and then slide that way. And that way we don't completely kill the second row seats in the Pilot. We've got a refrigerator. This is a 12 volt. It's a Bouge RV refrigerator. It's one of the cheaper ones you can get. But I tell you what, it works really nice. And even with everything kind of down, we can still get in, especially if the bed is set. We can still lift that, get into the refrigerator when we're in sleep mode. If we don't have sleep mode going on, if we don't have the refrigerator, there's a little doodad here, and that's I'll show you what that looks like on the other side. Underneath here, we've actually got quite a bit of space, especially being as long as the car's level, we're level, and I've got a little bit of laptop space. And we put we got all the actual Honda back seat. We'd gotten all of Honda's back seat protectors, floor protectors, the deep well stuff, because that way we can slide stuff in and out. We can do all this stuff and not really worry about just destroying the backs of the seats. But if we take this platform and we pull those pins out, we can slide it back and then it sits right on top of the main platform, and these seats then become usable again, which is really nice for when we're out there. I don't know if you can see back there, but right here we have these 4x4s, and those are into the frame that we built, and we have one more of these 4x4s that just sits loose, and that goes, we manually put that in the middle of the platform so that we have a little bit of support right there in the middle. Up here, there's that Elite Blu-ray player, and because we like to sleep with our heads up here, because sometimes I feel like I'm in a coffin, that becomes kind of a useless object as far as we're concerned. Even if we put our heads down the other side, it's just so far of an angle, we can't enjoy that. The moonroof came in really handy last night because we had a really nice rainstorm, and that was fun. And then we also have the normal sunroof, which, as I was talking about the protectors for the windows, the little stockings that go over to give you, to keep the bugs out, they also make one for the top of the sunroof, which is nice because it's got the magnets and everything's kind of coated and it's not going to scratch anything up. But this has been working out really well. Come around to the back, we have, those weather techs go all the way around. We've got one in the back here, and then these little side windows as well. And in the side windows as well, we've got them in, and those aren't as good, but they stay. Here is the back, and there's the mattress. This mattress actually folds up to be a couch, albeit a completely terrible one, and it folds in half. And then come back over here. It folds in half, and then these guys fold over again to make like a couch, and that doesn't work. And this is called Certipure. If anybody really cares, we'll leave a link to it. But saying that is, we're able to fold that up, and that will sit up in the back when we collapse those two platforms. The Honda Pilot has this nice area here that you can get to, kind of what would you call that, a trunk? I don't know, kind of like a little trunk area. We built the platform so that it will sit on the sides here, side, that we can still get to that trunk platform. So that's a lot of extra space. And the way this is built, there's a lot of extra space. Yeah, we've got a little bit of issues. We need to get in here and glue and put more staples. But this here and the sides is all a frame that goes pretty much the entire way. And then this part here goes on top. And if I lift this up, you can see, come over here, you can see we came through and we cut, and this kind of kickstands itself in the vehicle. There's an armrest there for the third row seat passengers that this sits on, and then we've got the carpeting underneath. That way it doesn't scratch anything up. Over here we keep all of our kind of ratchet straps and bungees. There's usually a bag for that, but we just came from an event and that didn't work out, and we haven't done that too well. Everything's got its little cubby place and cubby hole. Up here we're using I think it's a Vantrue N4 dash cam, and the dash cam records the front, the inside, and then it also has this little remote camera. And I ran that through the entirety of the trim, brought it through this little hole here, which is one of the seat belts for the third row seat, and then I've got a little Velcro right there, and I can tuck the wire in there. When we're packed to the gills, I can pull this off, tuck this in, and then hide it and protect it underneath the seat belt, and that's not going to get in any trouble. They give you the 3M stuff, but I figure it's better to put the Velcro on there. That way you can take it off, or if you knock it, it's gonna not destroy the 3M stuff. Over here we usually have cleaning stuff, cleaning supplies. You're not going to be able to see in there. So we come around. I think that's everything. I think that's everything in the back. The really good part about the first time we slept in this, and we'll probably do this when it becomes like spring weather, and maybe even as we go for fall, we could put our heads up here. And the good thing about the remote on the Pilot is that we can open this and close this just by a button. And we did that for a while when we were in Gettysburg, and it was a really bad rainstorm. And we were like, okay, we're going to stay in our car. And we had this open because this, up to the worst rain, this will protect you and keep it from coming in, unless it's coming in sideways. And as soon as we got cold, we reached up, grabbed the key, hit the button, and this came down. As long as you're not past, the plastic here, you're in good shape. Let's come back around to this side, and this is usually Christine's side, and basically the same thing. We've got our camera bags under here, and you could see one of these kickstands. The kickstand goes right into that little wooden flange that's on the bottom. Put that in there, lift it up, and that's good enough to hold us. Right now, the other side has a kickstand on the middle, which is where the refrigerator is. And I think that's the best way right now. I can come back around and I can grab the kickstand. Now that we're not in, oh no, you know what? I use the armrests for the refrigerator to put the kickstand in there, which seemed to work really well. If we don't want to move the platform back today, and we wanted to keep it up because I'm not really sure where we're going to sleep tonight, but I can put the kickstand in here kind of in an angle, and it gives us more room for the refrigerator. Kind of my rule of what I want to do is I don't particularly mind having the passenger seat taken, but when we sleep, the driver's side seat has got to stay free, because ideally you're in a space where you're allowed to be, but sometimes you may be told something and somebody may tell you to get lost. And my thing was, I always want to make sure that one of us can get out, get in the driver's seat and go at any moment's notice. And if we have a bunch of junk in the driver's seat, we're kind of screwed. This is our main area here. Of course, I've got some stuff sitting here. We run a Jackery 1000, and the Jackery sits right on top of the arms here. I do want to build a little platform for this, that way the feet of the Jackery, even though they're rubber, I don't really want them to make a permanent mark in the armrest. I'll kind of see, and if it starts being a problem, I'll figure it out. Right now I've got a couple things plugged in. I've got the drone battery plugged in, although the AC's turned off. We have some extra long USB-C cables. That way, at any time, we can charge pretty much any device. The Jackery also has, I don't know if you can come around here. On the Jackery, we're down to 44%. As we drive around, we didn't bring any solar cells, but as we drive around, we'll charge back up, because I've got a cable going from here to the cigarette lighter of the Pilot, which will charge it through the day. I also have the refrigerator plugged in, and that'll work out pretty good. And this usually stays here. I can slide this back. I do worry about the cables. I want to make sure there's nothing down here. Speaking of, you've got space between the two second row seats, and you've got space on the other side of the camera bags behind the driver's seat. And we have some of our more expensive things. I've got the drone sitting there. I've got the media bag sitting there. I've got the laptops underneath the platform, but you have a little bit of storage there as well. Also, you have some storage under the Jackery, and then you've got that little slidey slidey thing in the center console, which we have a lot of stuff into. And right here is the food bag. The food bag, before we drove over here, was actually sitting on the center console. You could still reach all the controls. And I think that's about it. Now we're going to get unset up again and get to our next destination. Everything here will go right in the back of the hatch, and we're heading out. And to end the video, here are some photos we took during the building of the platform. Right here is a template that we used to measure everything out. Some photos of cutting the, I believe it was 3/4 inch plywood. Yes, that's 3/4 inch plywood. Giving everything nice rounded corners. Here I am already laying down, just trying to make sure that our space would work. And you can kind of see what the frame looks like there as well. That will get wrapped up in some cheap home improvement store carpeting. Here you can see one kickstand, and then coming up you'll see the other kickstand there as well. Those are actually closet hanging rods. And then Christine cleaning everything up. You can get a good view of what everything looks like here. And then there's those 3 4x4s at the bottom. Hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to share.